Hello, it's C Love You, and welcome to C Love You Advice. Hi, I'm C Love You. So, today I would like to talk about a man being a man and a woman being a woman. I've noticed a lot of young ladies don't know what a woman's place is in the household. I'm starting to notice that more and more and more, and it's sad. I feel like a lot of young ladies in this generation have not been taught how a woman's supposed to go about handling herself. I notice these days that we're dealing with a lot of young children, a lot of young teenagers, a lot of young women in general that don't know what it means to let a man take the lead whenever they're married. And I'm here to explain that to you. So, the way that I was always taught is when you're dating a man, that this young man's supposed to be courting you, meaning that you don't have to go inside of his house or he don't have to come to your house. Well, of course he's going to come to your house, but it just be to pick you up and take you out on a date and take you home. And a chaperone is in the building. When I was younger, I seen this happen with one of my cousins, and I didn't quite understand it at the time. But as I got older and I made my own mistakes in life of doing things the incorrect way instead of listening to my parents, I began to understand why my aunt moved the way that she moved with my little cousin. I began to understand it more and more and more. And it makes sense now. See, young ladies, it's easy to get with a young man that you really like, and you thinking, okay, well, we're just going to go on this date. We don't need no chaperones around. And we can handle ourselves. We control our body. And in some cases, a young lady I have seen them where they are able to do it. But if you know that you really do like this young man and your hormones is all over the place at the time, because it happens with young men and young women, it is best to have a chaperone around. The reason being is because you got two people that's in the same premises. They like one another. It's obvious they do. And their hormones is off the chain. They get to hugging. They get to kissing. Next thing you know, they want to go to the bedroom. Next thing you know, baby. At such a young age. It's so many teenage moms out here that had their whole life altered, right along with the teenage mom. They had their whole life altered over one day of passion, when that is not supposed to happen until they was married. Ladies, let me be the first one to tell you. When you are out here dating, the best way to get to know a young man is if you have a chaperone around. If you know that your hormones is all over the place and you cannot seem to get them under control, because it happens. It's so easy to slip up at that point, because your body is calling for one thing and your mind is calling for another. And sometimes we let our flesh overtake our mind, and then we end up in situations we don't want to be in. So we have to be very careful about how we conduct ourselves when we're out here. Even when you're older and you get to feeling that way, sometimes it's best to go on a double date with another person that you know. Maybe even a married couple or somebody, a real close friend of yours, whatever, that you know, that will be able to be there for you when you're dating this young man, because maybe, you're not strong enough mentally to be able to withstand temptation when you're by yourself with that young man. If that is one of the cases, please bring somebody along. There's nothing wrong with it. Because you'd rather bring somebody alone rather than do something that you're going to regret later. You don't want to do that to yourself. Also, I feel the need to let a lot of young ladies know that when you're married to a man decides that he want to propose to you, you need to, before you accept anybody's proposal, you need to be looking out for some key information. You need to be finding out about this man's background. You need to be finding out about his family, the friends that he have, what type of environment that he grew up in. You need to get to know his mother and father, his sisters, his siblings very, very well. The reason being is because it's going to tell you a lot about him. And the ones that you really need to be paying close attention to is the friends that he's keeping around him. Because birds of the same feather flock together. Believe me, they do. No one that I know wants to be around someone that they don't have anything in common with. So you want to be watching that environment because it's going to tell you a lot. It's going to tell you so much about that young man that it's going to be an eye-opener on whether or not you decide to marry this young man. The next thing you need to be looking out for: is this man able to lead a household? Does he put God first? The reason why this is very important is because if this young man don't fear God, what makes you think he's going to respect you? He got to fear God. There has to be God in the picture in order for it to work. There's so many people out here that's getting married for the wrong reasons. Because they're lonely. They don't want to live by themselves. They're afraid of dying old and lonely. And that's not the right way to do it. You have to be comfortable being by yourself first. And you have to be comfortable taking care of yourself first before you can go into a relationship and add on another person. So that's why it's important, young ladies, not only to make sure that that young man have himself in order, but you also have yourself in order. Because if he's not in order and you're not in order, you're just creating a whole relationship on a piece of paper that's going to end up in divorce at the end. So that's another thing that you need to be looking at. Another thing that you need to be looking at too is, how was this man attitude whenever he's speaking to you? Whether it's a good day for him or a bad day for him. You see, there's different seasons that we all have to go through. Different seasons. We're going to have those seasons where we're going to have blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings. And then there's going to be those seasons where you're going to really go through some things because you need to get to goal and you have to push through. And it happens. You need to know this man in these seasons here, because he's going to tell you a lot. He's going to tell you how he reacts under pressure. He's going to tell you how he's going to react when he's angry. And he's going to tell you how he's going to react when he's happy. Those are key factors to finding out who are you dealing with. Another good piece of advice that I could give you: if this young man has a lot of females that he may be around, because you have some cases where the opposite sex or whatever, they're able to get along very well. Like me personally, I have a lot of male friends. I don't sleep with them. I don't communicate with them in that type of way, but we're friends. We're truly genuine friends. And they know me. They know me, like the back of their hand. And we get along very well. Being around those male friends for so many years, they have taught me a lot along the way. And what I have learned about them is that, yes, they can have some true, genuine female friends out there. But at the same time, though, some of these men out here are slick. They'll try to say, oh, this female ain't nothing but my friend. But if that female is too close to that male where he feels the need to always go and tell her things and rely on her to tell her certain things that he will never tell you, then that should be the biggest red flag there is to move out the way. Because he's not ready for you because he's too focused on someone else. That's when it's time to say, you know what, this thing ain't gonna work because you're carrying too much. I could tell you this from personal experience. I had to let go of a young man, not because I necessarily wanted to, but if you're still holding on to something from your past that evidently, deep down the inside, and she know that thing is not done and it needs to play itself out, I don't want to be involved. I'm not going to even waste my time with you. Because you could try all day to get that man to see you differently. But if he still has someone else in his heart that still hold a place in his heart, and that thing was never ended in the right way, and it's still lingering questions, it's still lingering feelings, that thing has to come to a close before he could deal with you. Because if it don't, he will always have that thing going the back of his head, and you will never be first in his life. Even if he was to marry you, even though you'll be there physically with him, mentally, his mind will be across the street somewhere. So you also want to be careful about that. Another thing is, if this man have children, before he met you, if he have a lot of children, or maybe he only got one child or two children, it don't matter. You want to watch the way this man treats his children, and you want to watch the way this man treats his children's mother. It's going to tell you a lot about how he's going to treat you. Because if he's disrespecting his woman, he's going to disrespect you. If he's not even taking care of the children that he had, what makes you think he's going to take care of you? It is not going to happen. You need to pay attention to that. In actuality, you might want to speak to the baby mama and find out exactly what's going on, because I'm going to tell you, if you get it good and if you get real close to the child's mother, and you and that woman is able to get along, she will begin to tell you things about that man that you need to be worried about. And if you pay her some attention, you can learn. Not every woman that's not with their child's father is bitter. Sometimes it's deeper issues that you don't know nothing about, that man is not telling you, but that woman will tell you. So you want to be looking out for that. Now, for the young man out here that's looking for a young lady to marry, I know you all have certain things that you like to see in a woman when you approach her. The first thing you're looking at, a lot of you guys, is looking at the way that she looks. Is she attractive? Does she have an attractive body? A lot of men do that. There's nothing wrong with, I'm a female, I like to look at a good-looking man too. But I want to be the first one to tell you, beauty is skin deep. There's women out here that will look good on the outside, but their insides is all messed up. I see it every day. There's women out here that will play the game so well that they will be a whole gold digger, and you will think that's your future wife. I done seen it happen. Men, be careful about these different women that you're approaching out here. The reason why I'm telling you this is because you got a lot of women out here that got a lot of issues that they have not resolved within themselves. And then they get in a relationship and they make your life hell. Because the simple fact is that whatever issues they need to resolve before they got with you, they never did, and then they end up taking it out on you. You want to be careful of those type of women. Secondly, if this woman have children, and you notice that she's always bickering back and forth with the baby father, and she's not even trying to come to common ground with him, that should be a red flag to you. The reason why it should be a red flag to you is because you need to be finding out what is going on with this woman that she can't even be cordial with the man that she had kids by. Because me personally, my kid's father, we get along just fine. I moved on with life. He moved on with life. And he married somebody else. I was, me and her did not always get along because she couldn't see what I seen. But once me and her came to a common ground, now I could talk to this woman. We could have a full-blown conversation and laugh it up over the phone. No problem. Because now we have an understanding of one another. And my daughter loves her. And she loves my daughter. And I'm fine with that. No big deal to me. Matter of fact, she can get any time if she really wants to. I need a break anyway. But, it's things like that where it speaks a lot about a woman, men that's listening. The reason why it does is because normally if a woman still have anger towards that child's father, there's something going on in the inside of her that she's not telling you. A lot of times it has something to do with she still got feelings for that man and she's angry because of the way that the man walked out on her. And until that situation get resolved and she begins to heal from that situation, every man that ever comes her way, she would not be able to stay in that relationship for long because that deep-rooted issue has not been addressed. It takes time. Let her heal first before you come to her. Another thing that you need to be worried about with a woman, if she out here got a whole bunch of kids, or say she don't have a whole bunch of kids. Say she may only have 1, 2, 3, whatever kids that she may do have. But yet, she got to have all this type of government assistance just to help take care of her kids. She's not able to hold down her own, on her own. Okay? She don't go to work. The only thing she ever did was depend on the government check. Stay at subsidized housing. Worried about welfare. Worried about when her next child support payment comes. And every single time she think about that man that she had that baby by, she always angry. Just bitter for no reason. That's a red flag. You need to be running as fast as you can. She got too many issues. You don't want that. Be ready to leave. Another thing that you need to be watching out for, men, and I'm telling you because I know, because I have seen it. When a woman says that she have a lot of male friends, okay, but yet she could never seem to introduce those male friends to you. She don't even want you talking to them over the phone. Matter of fact, when they call, she trying to have her phone when you around. That is the biggest red flag there is, because that means that they're not just friends. It's something more going on, and you need to be investigating. I can guarantee you that. Because any guy that I have ever dated, they always knew I had male friends, and me and these male friends, we were close. To the point where I didn't even mind them actually talking to them over the phone. Matter of fact, they didn't even see my male friends, and they became comfortable because they realized this person is really her friend. Like, they really are cool like this. And they didn't even have a problem with it. As a matter of fact, they actually hung out with one another. Because guess what? I'm that true, genuine girl. That if I tell you these people are nothing but my friends, these people ain't nothing but my friends. So that's just a few signs males need to be looking out for. Oh yeah, and if a female is too needy, it's like whenever she needs something, she always want to call you, and she's not trying to get it on her own. You got a gold digger. Anytime a female only wants to come around you when it's beneficial for her, you have a gold digger on your hands. If you fall into hard times and you've been doing for this female all this time, and all of a sudden you fall into hard times and she act like she can't help you and it's a problem for her to even help you with something, you got a gold digger on your hands. Anytime you want to spend time with this female and you really want to spend time with her, you taking the time out to make plans and everything for you and her to get together, and you let her know ahead of time, and she's still making excuses why she can't get with you, you the side dude. That means that she got somebody else out there that got her attention or whatever, and pretty much, you're there just to keep her company whenever she's bored. So just remember that, fellas, whenever you're picking out a mate, keep that in mind, and I guarantee you'll go far. But this is going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a nice day, and I hope you learned something. And thank you for listening. Bye.